Welcome everyone. Week 5 summary of Martin versus the Machine. I am trying to make a third better marble machine than the 2 previous ones. And let's go through this week's progression right away. So week 1, the machine looked like this. Week 2, the machine looked better like this. Week 3, I started to question things a little bit. Week 4, I questioned everything. I assumed nothing. Week 5, we have some new CAD. So I'm very, very proud of this design. Not so much the design itself as the decision process leading up to this design. So let me tell you the story from the very beginning. Bowden cable marble gate. It all started with Rosero's escapement gate, and I made my own version. I broke the escapement gate up because I wanted to show the marbles, and I thought this was a done deal. I knew this was going to make the Marble Machine X a success, and it's of course a fantastic looking thing, but it led to the machine not working. Facepalm moment. Wilson seems super happy regardless. So for the new marble machine, I have to think new. And let's just take a reminder about the vibraphone design requirements. We have 37 note vibraphone, and I want a double drop per note to be able to play like fast melodies with the same note. And we also want 2 music programs. We have 148 programming channels and 74 marble gates. So I knew I had to like design something really nice. And we have on this machine a Bowden cable system. I'm going to take a sip of water while you enjoy the Bowden cable system. So, and with this Bowden cable system, I thought that I have to make the design efficient. So I started to sketch on this kind of double marble gate, and I CAD'd the first iteration right here. And I thought it was built up pretty nicely because it has like this backing plate in Delrin. Then you have some axles, which also keep it all together. You have the wheels, and you have the 2 dropper arms and the marbles. And then you mirror the Delrin background, and it's a nice, neat little package. But then I thought the marbles are coming in 2 in this double gate. What if we added Y-split? Because then I would only need like 1 PMMA pipe, and we could split the marbles up like this. And I was like, this is genius, because we only need then half amount of pipes to all these 74 marble gates. And I did something that I love. I made these positive stops right here, close to the pivot point. So when these green escapement arms are moving, they are restricted at exactly 16 degrees pivoting, tick-tack, tick-tack, which I think will be a quite silent design. So I was super happy with this. I was like, this is just absolutely crazy cool. And then we added the Bowden cables. We had great help from our awesome live stream viewers that suggested that I could add the spring directly to the Bowden cables like this. I had an extension spring first, but this felt fantastic. So same idea here. We close the lid, and we have like perfect marble gate, I thought. So here we have it's from the other side, and you can kind of see the metal bracket there. And if I repeat it on the thing, it kind of looks like an army of green things standing next to each other. I was a little bit bummed out that you couldn't see the marbles, but I was like, form from function, it's great. However, the chat started calling out, this Y split inside the gate, isn't this like something that has caused a lot of problems before? And I was like, but we can tweak it so it doesn't get stuck. And honestly, I actually think this could be made to work flawlessly. But before we had the edge case issue is when the right channel plays twice in a row, when we don't alternate between the channels. And because we have a music loop, we cannot always alternate. So what we're trying this time is to eliminate the edge cases rather than design for them. So I was like, wait, this smells fine-tuning, and we've been here before. So I tried to use some first principles and thinking, should we do this Y split, Or should we just double up the channels and do the marble division somewhere else? So what I realized is that in alternative A with the Y-split in the gate, we have two problems. If we skip the Y-split, we only actually have one problem, and we can copy paste the solution for the marble divider anyway. So I was like, okay, we're not gonna do the Y-split. We're gonna do double marble dividers instead on the new machine. And then came another discussion about this gate. People didn't like that the Bowden cables were here on the side, but wanted to move them over to the center. And that led me into a long rabbit hole about Bowden cable placement for this double gate. Because the ratio of these lengths of these arms, the red one and the green two, needs to be the same. So it's not like so easy. It's involved, blah blah blah. And I started to CAD the new thing with the Bowden cables. I did actually this design completely parametric because maybe some of you want to prototype this, I thought. So here's for 20 millimeters, and then I can just change the parameter to 16. So you can see here's 20 and 16, and here's 20. So then when I share the CAD, if you have a different marble size at home, you can go into my CAD and kind of change one value, and then you can 3D print the thing, and you can prototype with the size of marbles that you have at home. I thought that was kind of cool. But when I started to look at this, I was like, I don't like it. I don't like that the Bowden cables are so separated in height. And I was like, And there's a problem, like, how do I steer the marbles? Like, I'm not using the same that we had on Marble Machine X that actually worked. And I was like, I was like, just And I felt a little deflated. And I was like, something is wrong, okay? So it's time for me to put my mouth where my mouth is, as the expression goes, and ask the question, can we make the design requirements less dumb? Because I just felt I don't have place for things again. It's the same issue as I had on the first machines. Like, where should I put the things? The Bowden cables are colliding. So last time I didn't make the design requirements less dumb, and it resulted in a failure. So let's see if we are daring. What do you think, Hannes? Can we make the design requirements less dumb?
Oh yeah. We should go for it.
Okay, so what if, my friends, I go outside my comfort zone and we're not gonna do double drops on the vibraphone. We're just gonna try to make one gate as fast as possible and write music with that limitation. What would happen? Well, we don't need 74 marble gates anymore. We need 37. We don't need 148 programming channels. We need 74. I just removed 4,000 parts and 1 meter width of the new machine by doing this design requirement less dumb.
Poof.
And I'm sure I can make a lot of fantastic music with this requirement. And what happened is that a completely new design space just opened up. So let me show you the design that I could make thanks to making the design requirements less dumb. Shoulder bolts. Love letter to shoulder bolts. Escapement wheel. 8 marbles per wheel. Escapement thing. I've seen this moon design before from the community. So dropping point very close to escapement wheel makes the gate being able to repeat the same note faster in one gate. POM backed half with some open windows. So maybe you can spot the marbles. Nice. Bracket. Let's add a Bowden cable that is adjustable with these nuts and a spring and some nuts and a PMMA pipe, and we close the whole thing up. And here it is. Let's add some square tubing so we can hold the thing up, and some nuts, and here it is in all its glory. And I have some ideas for how to make it adjustable, so you can slide the thing back and forth and shim it sideways with washers, so you can actually fine-tune the hit point of the marble, whereas the Bowden cable stays intact because the Bowden cable is attached to the bracket itself. And the bracket, by the way, oh sorry, everything went wrong here. Oh no. My keynote presentation died. I was on such a roll.
Yeah.
Wait.
This is live.
Okay, I could regret it. Command Z solved the problem. So this bracket, by the way, it's bent from like 24/7 steel or something like this. So look at this. We can kind of see from the side anyway. We're going to be able to see the little red wheel ticking. We're going to see the marbles. And the marble that falls down only have to move 10 millimeters to fall into place to be ready to play the next note. So kind of when we look at it from the front here, you can see how the marble that is ready to be charged is almost at the dropping position. So I think this gate can repeat the same note really, really fast. And what happened when we put it on the square tubing and repeat the gate? Voila. So let's compare this world or this world. Boo! Boo!
Get that out of my face!
Get out of here. This is the world I want to live in. I don't know how about you, but like here, and you know, it's so much unused firepower here. Like if I make a song in a key, I will use 10% of the dropping gates in a concert maybe. So it's like 90% just standing idle just because I can't kill my darlings. It's madness. And look at this. So let's take a look from behind. I mean, this is not the configuration. I just made a rectangular pattern to show you kind of how nice it is. And yeah, there it is in all its glory. And I have to make a huge thanks to Mr. Gonsonator, who was championing the one plane marble gate. Because what maybe be lost on you is that everything is in one plane. Everything is under the marbles, which means that we can allow bigger marbles. Maybe we can do 30 millimeters. Now I had 20. And Mr. Gonsonator, Engineer galore, was fighting for this giraffe design where Gonsonator really wanted to keep everything in one plane. And things like that has stuck in my head, and I'm sure it has inspired this gate. So thanks to Gonsonator. And I wanted to show you one more thing. So there's the gate, and let's talk next chapter about 10 design rules. This is something fun I discovered last week. Okay, Dieter Rams, the Marie Kondo of engineering. Someone in chat wrote that. I don't know if it's just someone from our live stream chat viewers that has made that name or if it's actually true. Dieter Rams is famous for the 10 rules of design. So they are: good design is innovative. Good design makes a product useful. Good design is aesthetic. Good design makes a product understandable. Good design is unobtrusive. Good design is honest. Good design is long-lasting. Good design is thorough down to the last detail. Good design is environmentally friendly. Good design is as little design as possible. And I have to be honest when I say that one of my biggest joys comes from the fact that this design change will make the machine understandable. So when we film a song or when someone sees it, you will see like a bubblegum machine playing music with marbles. With this design, you will hardly see the marbles at all because when they hit the vibraphone, you will just not see them. So it's not a form from function. I removed like 4,000 parts. So it's not just to make it look cooler, but the added bonus that this new version is adhering to Dieter Rams' principles about making the design aesthetic and make it understandable. I think it's actually form from function. The machine is also for our eyes. So we have to sometimes bring that into perspective. I don't want to make a black box. So anyway, I thought that was like a fantastic added bonus with the Bowden design. What do you think about the design, Sir 3K?
Woo!
Fantastic. Okay, let's take the last chapter, modules and interfaces. So last week I created this chart and someone said, I bet Martin will OCD fix this off stream. And I did. And I just wanted to show that. So this is the product breakdown structure. This is not a flow chart anymore. So this helps me break down the whole machine into its separate pieces. And as you can see, we've been working here on 0304, the marble gates. And that work has been done over at the live stream channel, where I'm live streaming with my friend Sir3K, who will enter the fray right there.
I was sitting here all along. Hello, everyone.
And we're having so much fun with all the viewers sending fantastic design suggestions. So the deal is, here on the main channel, you have these weekly updates. And on the second channel, you have the design live stream. So we just wish everyone a fantastic Wednesday. And I will upload the CAD as soon as possible. I will also try to make it parametric. And I would be so happy if someone would want to prototype this gate. I don't have my 3D printer here yet. So if you put a YouTube video up, we will share it on next Wednesday's update. So with that said, thanks for us.
Yeah.
And have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Take care. We love you.
Yes.